So, hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen. We return to Steel Division. Steel Division 2, that is. And we have another tournament. Hello, Big Andy. Thanks for the follow. No, not Big Andy. Maxwell DN. And yeah, our first upcoming game is Genzekaka vs. Cesium. And we will go into this in a second. Then I will show you first. Not that. That's our Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. And the SD slash league. I will show you why this tournament is a bit special. The format of this tournament is best of ones. That's standard. But you don't pick divisions, you don't ban divisions, but rather you use them yourself in round one. The matchups are given and the maps is given. Map will be Slutsk, and one of the players will be 44th Guards, the other one 5th Panzer, and so on. We move through all these divisions. Seen like this. And yeah, normal rules otherwise. But yeah, you have those given matchups that are somewhat balanced, as good as possible, and that are also interesting. And so we will start with 3rd Canadian versus 160th Panther on Super Disney. That's the first one with Gansei and Cesium because they are in the preliminary round. Because we have 18 players. And I closed again that tab. Shlong.com. Steel Division 2. And we go to... Come on. "18 participants." Yeah, so that's the bracket. We have Gonzo. We have Juzarik. We have Pixie here. And we have Jin Pickle, Yak, and so on. And Genzei will play against Cesium, and Tunic versus Tristan. We will go into Genzei versus Cesium. The winner of that will play against Jaden Man. So yeah, let's jump into this. Right here, right now. So yeah, Genzei got the 160th, Cesium got the 3rd Canadian. On this lovely new map. Actually a pretty good one. One of the few maps really centered around city fighting, actually, because all of these flags, and even those three to some regard, are like city map flags, and just the outer preliminary, it's open or forest fights, which I really enjoy. Hello, Metal Face. Good to have you here. And good afternoon to you too, Mr. Proplord. So yeah, we will speed it up a bit. Waiting for the first deployment. Actually, no, let's go for the start of the game again. Oh, I stopped the game. Clever. Speeding it up and then stopping it. A lot of infantry coming in for Cesium in the south, and I think that's the right choice of 3rd Canadian. Going for those rifles. A lot of rifles. Already a strength of Normandy 44. Still less strength in Steel Division 2. A lot of cheap basic infantry. Genzei now also getting ready. I will speed up to the start of the game and then I will pause again, looking for all the setup and so on. Thanks, Voidus 666 for the follow. Yeah. We are back to speed 1. Yeah, okay, we catched up. We are live now, guys. Well, life plus the delay. Panther 3s, Panther 4s. Standard. Just 1 star on the Panther 3 still. Interesting. But that's the N one, that's the short barreled one. And not the long barreled one you get in tank tab, that's the one you get in support tab. Still a solid unit. What I miss in Steel Division 2 for 116 are autocannon half tracks in support tab. The 250/8s, were one of the best units in, or most important units, and most iconic units in Steel Division 1944. Here they have only 4 20mm autocannon cars that they get it in the recon tab. Yeah, which limits a bit their spam, like armored spam early game. They're still, they're now more focused around those decent medium tanks than about the armored cars. While 3rd Canadian, I think, has more armored cars with all their stack counts and stuff in the recon tab. Six-pounders, solid anti-tank guns. Well, yeah, I want to see where they deploy it before I go any deeper into what we have happen here. Defense groups, interesting. More over here. Yeah. That's the rifles in the south mostly, I guess. Yeah. Some defense groups as well, but mostly rifles. And all in the armored transport. Actually, how fast is this thing? 90. Okay, so fine transport speed. Haven't played 3rd Canadian too much. Well, both are slower, right? Yeah, they are 80s, it's CMBs, Ps, where the normal rifles come in. Shermans versus Panther 4s. That will be an interesting matchup. Against Panther 3s, they should win, especially against the N version. Against the long-barreled ones, will be a more even matchup. But the Stackhounds should lose against the Panther 3Ns. So if the Panther 3N goes down here against those are all normal Stackhounds? Yeah, against those 4 Stackhounds, should at least take out 1 or 2 before dying. So it might get pinned. Is there any anti-tank gun coming in the south? No, only an IG-18. 2 more IG-18s in the middle. Some anti-tank guns, some Pak 40 and an IG in the north. Okay, so you're cheering for Desium, that is, against the Swiss boy we have here. Well, Gensei is one of the channel's most honorable followers, and I had just made him a VIP today, so yeah, I got to cheer for Gensei in this game. Don't know Desium too much just yet, but it's good to see new faces as well in tournaments. Gensei by now a reoccurring face, has played in a lot of tournaments over the last 1.5 years. I think it's a fair matchup. I think 3rd Canadian is a solid division. I don't know, I might actually give it to the 3rd Canadians. Even. I'm not too fond of 160. Like, 160 was good. And yeah, all the medium tanks and stuff is helpful, but with Shermans and stuff, you can beat them usually. And you get Fireflies later on. Those are really good. I think it's a fair matchup. Don't think this matchup will be decided by the divisions, but rather by the skill of the players. Or by their familiarity with their divisions. Is the music too loud, by the way? think we're about to start. Both sides seem to be set up. Okay. It's a bit of a waiting. So yeah. Really interested to see if all the matchups work out. I think they should. After I had a look on them, I think it should be quite fair. I think this map isn't too great for Armored Division, so even if 1/16 overall would have an edge, the map would help out the 3rd Canadian in countering that, I think. Sure, you have some long range capabilities, like you could use like the North pretty good with armored units, but overall it's pretty infantry focused on this map. Yeah, 17 pounders will be important against the Panthers in later stages of the game. Doesn't seem to be any Panthers just yet. Okay, let's pause the game. So, no heavy pushes from the looks of it just yet. Oh no, I'm wrong. The Stackhounds wanted to push this out. And with only the Aegean and one Panther. Where's the Panther going? Panther doesn't have an order. Yep, this Panther is standing still. They prepared so long and he doesn't have an order for the Panther. That's interesting. Yep, Panther and Panzerbüchse are standing still. Panther now start moving. What? Where is he supposed to go? Okay, he wants to send his Panther through the middle. Interesting choice. I think the 6-pounder has nothing against that. Those Panthers also going up quite far through front line. Played a couple of games against Gensei in Normally 44 to know that he's a solid player, but he ain't the best when it comes to micro. Like he's really one of the most mid-range like skill level players I know. Always like if you give him an opportunity, he will use it, and he knows what he's doing. But he's not like I haven't seen any aspect where he's like super accelerating, but also no aspect where he's really falling behind. He's one of the like standard guys, the average Joes, I would say. Yeah, the stack-hunt push of Thesium should work out for the beginning. But Gensei countering really fast with Panzerbüchse and the Panzer 4 or Panzer 3, Panzer 3L, one of the long barrel ones. And going into the bushes. Good smoke of Gensei here to buy a bit of time. North, nothing major happening. Gensei taking the territory for a while. Gensei's MG's in good position. Panther 3's coming up. And where's the 6-pounder? 6-pounder is down here, out of position. Thought he would go somewhere around here. As I think he would have needed it more. Like, yeah, he for sure would have needed it more here. But, yeah. Bit of a misplay by Desium there. Losing first stack count already. Panzerbüchse gets the crew killed on the second one. Panther 3 and pushing up forward. Really good against stack counts, I think. But might get side-shotted here. No, stack count continues on. Next Panzerbüchse comes into play. So it's up to the rifles now to hold the territory as the stack counts lose the fight and lose it hard. And the 3 turning fast enough. Loader wounded on the second stack count. On the last stack count remaining. And there it goes. So gets rid of all the stack counts. And this gives Gensei a lot of room to play, I think. Really well handled there by Gensei. Bit of a misplay by Tzium to split up his stack counts, I think. Ooh. Rifle leaders with their Piat. The meme hits now in Steel Division 2, and it hits hard, killing the Panther 3N. No more Piats running out of ammo before hitting the enemy. Oh, Gensei really reinforcing hard with armored units, as you expect from 116s from the Windhounds. Setting up also the artillery observers with the BMWs, with their radios. And Panther A coming up in the middle. Don't know if he really needs it there. Don't think it can do much there around in the middle. Would have rather brought it up in the north, I think. Or not at all. Tzium securing the point with his infantry so far, and there's not much Gensei can do about it as he misses infantry for dealing with it. And security coming up though. Gensei a bit too aggressive with his half-track up here. Might get it killed by grenades. The TAC-40s and the fire support of the Ersatztruppen and the Panzers should be able to deal with the infantry here. He should get the flag. Sherman on the way for the rescue. But with the PaK-40 and the Panzer 3L, he should be able to deal with it. 2 more Shermans in the middle. That will be an interesting fight. So the Panzer might be useful after all in the middle. Panther 3L getting too close to the 6-pounder. And yeah, Tzium now securing the territory the stack counts died for. Again, they took a bit too long to bring in the infantry support, but he should get back this flag at least. And with the capturing of this flag in the middle, he's on a 12-12, so everything is fine. Gensei has to make B-phase work though, as he's playing Maverick. But he's setting up pretty solidly for that. Has to be careful with his A units though, yes, you really need them as a staging ground for your push in B with Maverick. Don't want to lose those Panzer, this Panzer 4 for example, which has his gun jump by now. Bit of missing micro here. Reaction time a bit longer than it should be. And Security is pushing over the open, getting wiped out by the rifles, even with the support of the half-track. But he has the flag back, and that's the important thing for now. Solid defensive setup overall by Gensei here. Microing the MG. Panzer 4 died, but now we have a Panther here. Opening fire, that should be able to hold the middle. He gets a bit too aggressive with his tanks, pushing a bit too far forward. They have a long range, Gensei, you don't need to set them into CQC fights. You don't need to run them into Piats all the time. Piat firing last shot on SDKFZ. Missing it. Oh, no, they have one more. They have one more, guys. Here it comes. No, they're wounded. Okay, Piat's still not the best of the best when it comes to anti-tank weaponry. Again, they're a bit too into the face. Face checking with tanks was never a great idea in any Steel Division. And I think it's even worse. No, it's not worse than it was always a bad idea, and it will always be a bad idea. This game is about combined arms, not tanks running frontally into infantry. But Gensei holds the flag, and with this tank now in position, and the half-track, and the rifles not having any anti-armored capabilities, should be able to push it back. Kills one of the Shermans in the middle as well with his Panther, on the way to finish off the second one. And this time with infantry support around the Panther. And yeah, the rifle leader's down to 3 Piats. So no miss allowed if he wants to get rid of all the half-tracks here. 6-pounder will do the job though if anything comes into the open. So Gensei has to be careful with his half-tracks. Ah, a bit too heavy A-click, I guess. No, he actually marked with a multi different positions. But yeah. Yeah, half-track faults. Autocannon car faults. Half-track should follow in suit. There it goes. Well positioned anti-tank guns. 17 pounder now in position as well. Panther in the fight with the Sherman. But yeah, he has to be careful about those 60, 70 pounders. Only 70 pounder might get in range of the Panther in just a second. Oh no, where's the... No, okay, it's the infantry falling back, sorry. With the merging of and switching around of the symbols, it sometimes shows the position completely off. But yeah, Duzium really using this squad of rifles since the beginning to great effect. Gensei hasn't found an answer to it yet. I think the answer would have been bombs or artillery, like mortar. Mortar half-track would have been the way, in my eyes, to get it out of the wood and then smash it into pieces or push into the wood after firing with mortar. Fire. He now gets the mortar half-track, but that's after he lost all the infantry here. Defense group setting up. Panther still in fight, this time with infantry. Yeah, Gensei really used the middle push, gets to 1311. But gets to 1410 soon, with the infantry here collapsing. IG in fight with the Sherman. Panther 3L should come to the rescue. For the Panther. Infantry faults, and that should be 1411? 1410? Yeah. Ooh, and this flag is... So if Gensei gets this flag back, he gets a +2 tick. The double tick rate, which he really needs. And it's in B phase now, so he gets the much higher income now. Coming in with Ju. But 17 pounder coming in, gets rid of the Panther in the middle. It's another anti-tank gun coming in for Duzium. So Gensei really has to search for an answer to all the anti-tank guns that are well positioned in the south for Duzium. And also in the north, already 17 pounder and 6 pounder setup. I think artillery is the way here. Artillery and good airplay. Yeah, artillery already getting it rid of. The leader here. Rifles without any anti-armor capabilities due to being wiped out. Is that getting rid of one anti-tank gun and one... Wasn't there an anti-tank gun over here, or did you... No. Yeah, pretty sure there was a 17 pounder over here. Got rid of that. One Panther's still alive. Sherman here fell as well. But 8 more Shermans on the way. Oh my god. Duzium really going for 9 Shermans on the way. We'll have like 8 Shermans plus 4 more infantry, or 3 more infantry squads. As... Yeah, he supports it now with AA at least. Gensei should see what's coming though. Yeah, Gensei sees what's coming. So he can get ready for it. Brings in leaders at the moment. Should bring in some anti-tank capabilities in a second though. Dookie supply. That's an interesting choice. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a all-in move here. As with 1 stars you don't get endless Shermans, even in 3rd Canadian. Sure, you still get a lot, but not endless. And it's really unsupported here, so he doesn't see anything. He might be able to bulldoze though. No, 2 Yak Panzers. Okay, that should be... It should give Gensei at least the capabilities to deal with it, theoretically. Still has to do it, with a 6 pounder coming up, and Yeah, I would like to see Desium pushing with his anti-tank guns as well. Together with the Shermans. First MG falls. But yeah, he really misses infantry here. 3 more Shermans in the north. Usually I'm not playing the combined arms game here, but rather the everyone on its own system. And yeah, he doesn't see anything here. He just all A-move them in. First front track's broken. Gets rid of the Panzerbüchse though, as he gets finally in range to see it. Mortar half track opening fire though, trying to pin them all down. Engine damaged on the next one. Well, now the second Panzerbüchse and the Panther about to wreak havoc onto the Shermans. Jagdpanzer's force coming up as well. Next Panzerbüchse moving up. Yeah, I think that's a bit too suicidal. I like daring pushes, but this was too daring. We might get the Panther force efforts, but we will lose everything here. Even JO2, JO87 D3 is coming in, pin those Shermans down. Yeah, next has the armored cracked, and with the Panzerbüchse's heavy rate of fire, they should side shot all of these eventually. Driver killed over here. Yeah, he gets the Panther. Off map by Gensei? Why would you do that? Another Panther coming in. Already have them. Another bounce kill here. Group panicked over here. Next German goes down. Next German, yeah. So he cleans up over here. The leader coming in too late as well. And on Germans, those veterancy levels really make a difference. They're always solid tanks, but with 2 stars they're really, really great. That's at least my experience. But yeah, now the Panzer IIs can focus fire on them. They should be able to get rid of them. Mosquito coming in to clean up at least the air for Desium, but he lost a lot of units in this push. And he's already behind in income now. This should really give Gensei the abilities to push through the lines of Desium that should be really thinned out now. As this investment didn't pay off at all. We got 1 Panther and 1 Panzerbüchse and 1 MG for 8 Shermans. It's not like he forced Gensei into investing into units that he doesn't want to have, as in Gensei didn't invest into anti-tank guns, something, but tanks that he can also use really offensively. Gensei now using the mobility of the Ju-87 to stall the airfight as long as possible, not bringing in any anti-air though, any anti-air to help out. Has 1 in the top, but he cannot go there with his Ju-87. Might actually get the kill though, if he micros it long enough, well enough. Don't know if it's worth it though. 3 more Panzer IIIs coming, the force coming in. Another Sherman. If you would have brought in 6 and support units, it might have worked. Either plane to pin down the Panther, and some infantry or something. Like, German pushes can be super strong, but unsupported Germans have their limits. Panthers being a big one in that. Good infantry push now coming in the middle now, but Gensei microing his units, getting rid of the only anti-tank unit, so his armored cars can deal freely with all the infantry pushing. So yeah, Desium slowly but surely falling apart here. Yes, they'll be getting better income in 2 minutes again. So I think Gensei should be playing a bit more aggressively from now on. But he for sure has all the tools he needs for that. The Shermans of Dusium in the north also pushing a bit too mindlessly over the open. Gensei having 2 Pack 40s up there to deal with any armored nuisance. Yeah, he doesn't really play. Dusium doesn't really play a combined arms here, but rather plays everyone on its own. Infantry on its own, artillery on its own, anti-tank on its own, and tanks on their own. The branches don't work together in the Canadian branch of the Royal Army. Panther 3 running into 4 Shermans doesn't work out though. Gensei a bit too aggressive now as well. That's the only way Gensei could lose this game, if he throws all his stuff into this, like, piecemeal into all these units here. Because 6 pounder and 17 pounder are still dangerous vehicles to deal with. But in the north there are too few units left. Gensei should try to get this flag though. Doesn't take much to get it. And he might lose this flag again to one single rifleman. One brave Canadian there, capturing the flag back for Dusium. Hammer Mark 3's coming on. They should lose the engagement though. Against Panzer IIs and what is this again? What's the name? 324/1, right. 234/1. And yeah, there goes the Hammers. I don't know why Dusium panicked actually. There was no real position to panic. But yeah, pretty sure he panicked, just as Lolly pointed out. And just started to throw units in because he thought he needs to win early on, but he doesn't need to. Gensei's deck is as thin and as A and B focused as Dusium's deck most likely. But I guess he a bit lost his nerve there after playing a solid early game down here and having a good setup all around the board actually. Don't know why he needed to feel the pressure for doing this quite suicidal move. At least he still keeps it as of 10-14. For now, off-map coming in, getting rid of one Pentagrandier in the north. Finally got the flag. Gensei finally got the flag here, but loses the flag here to Field Engineers. So he needs one more. But now he should be able to get the south. 6 pounder doing its job though, getting rid of Panzer IV here. And bailing out the halfback. Full killed over here. Yeah, the anti-tank weapons of Dusium are really well positioned. He should have waited for Gensei to attack before doing such a push. As Gensei is someone who also likes to throw away units a bit too recklessly. As you can see right now. Gets rid of the MG here though. Should allow him at least for a short while get to 15-9 as 2 Shermans come up. Try to bring it back. And there's no tanks in the south at the moment for Gensei. In the far south. Sherman's a bit too far in the open here in the fight against the Panthers and Yak Panthers, and they don't have a chance to penetrate either frontally. Ooh, and 6 pounder also goes down here to the MG fire. So there's only one 6 pounder and 170 pounder left for Dusium in the south. Gensei going for the off map to get the Shermans out of this forest. And yeah, Dusium now again throwing stuff at Gensei and hopes. Oh, I do hope it sticks, but just a bit too recklessly. Too panicked. just takes 6 of a piece and throws us there, 6 of a piece and throws us there. That shouldn't work out. And it doesn't at the moment. As the combined arms of Gensei is just a bit too good for that to work. Against bad players, this works usually. Like this, the 9 Sherman push could have worked there. Just overwhelming, badly set up defense positions. But Gensei's position was pretty solid. All the Panzerbrücksen, the Panther, enough cash to get the Jagdpanzer force. Yeah, this rifle seems like he ran out of tanks now, and now he's only buying infantry. Yeah. So Duzium didn't really household with his units. First getting rid of all the tanks, now getting rid of all the infantry. At once. And Gensei is at a 16-8. Only 3 minutes remaining for Duzium, going down to 17-7. With this flag endangered to be wiped out as well. Like 40 coming in to deal with the Germans. They're moving northbound. Gensei also got the air control by now, as Duzium at no point brought in any anti-air weaponry. Just to focus on one branch of units at a time. Getting more rifles here. Getting at least rid of some of Gensei's units and getting it back to a 14-10, but as he grabs this territory with the rifles, but there's just too much firepower for Gensei. Hold this out for too long. Gensei needs some infantry now, but he already brings in some grenadiers. The infantry of Duzium slowly but surely gets wiped out as well. I think well positioned off map by Gensei here. Panthers, half tracks, and anti-tank guns also dealing a lot of damage to these units of Duzium on the open field. Duzium might get another flag soon though, as the salient here collapses for Gensei. Might bring it back to a 11-13 in a second. But Gensei really abuses the airplay he has, even killing infantry with fighters now again. And this Mosquito is getting it for a bad time, fighting against 2 fighters and an anti-air piece. Yeah, there goes the Mosquito. Gensei trying to secure the north. So yeah, we are back to 11-13, but this still means Gensei will win in 4 minutes. Duzium doesn't get it back to a 12-12. And with the thinned out army he has, I don't think he will be able to. Got rid of the Pack 40 in the south though. Might have been killed in transport. Yeah, I guess it was killed in transport down here. As he forgot about the 6-pounder down here. And then engaging Sherman though. Should be able to deal with it. Möbelwagen coming up. Zoom sending in another plane. Is in for a really bad time here. With an ME-109 on its tail already. And there it goes to Mosquito. Off-map car goes as well. And Gensei is back to 59. 1 minute 30 left. Duzium really played well here and messed up everywhere else. I really liked what he did down here. I really disliked what he did around here. By throwing in just too much mindlessly. Against the setup of Gensei that was just totally fine. Bit too defensive at some points, bit too indecisive, I guess, but good enough to stop pushes like the Sherman push we had in the middle. So yeah, not much more to say here. 20 seconds to go. Museum coming in with another field engineer setup down here. Yeah, Genzi really using the tools he had to this means pretty well. Only thing he didn't really do well was the forest fight down here. Losing a lot to those 4 rifles of a leader. But yeah, overall, 1100 extra more points killed than Duzium shows that Genzi just got a bit of the upper hand in this matchup and takes a well-earned victory in round number 1. So now we move on to another matchup, guys, because we move into round number 1 from the preliminary round, and this is 44th Guards versus Panzer on Slutsk. So let's see what games we have up. I think we will go into Maxwell's game. That's one of the tournament games, right? Maxwell versus Jim Pickled Yak, one of the organizers and idea givers at least, of the tournament. That's why it's named after him, together with Metal Face. This map might actually be a bit favored for 5th Panzer, but we have to see about that. Though I guess they still have to get some down here somehow, somewhere. But I have to refill my glass of water, so I will be back in a second, guys. So yeah, Maxwell versus Jin Pickled Yak. We got here, guys, with Jin Pickled Yak playing the 5th Panzer, Maxwell the 44th Guards, Strelkovy. And yeah, let's speed it up a bit. Getting through the deployment phase. See what the game plan is of each player. Both playing balanced. Don't know if that was. No, that wasn't set up. It was only the matchups, I think. Deck and income was decided by the players. .250/9s on the side of Jim Pickled Yak here. Some nice autocannon cards. It's a shame that 116 doesn't have them. So yeah, we go here fast. No tanks so far on Maxwell's side. No tanks on Jim Pickled Yak's side either. A lot of infantry and some autocannons. Against a lot of infantry, half-tracks, 1 mortar and some infantry and anti-tank guns. So I think we are about to start here. Both sides seem to be set up fully. Okay, who's Trista playing? Fruit Lord. Ah, okay. Gold, Steven. So we are still in setup, guys. 11 minutes in. Guess someone had to go to the toilet here. Well, that gives me time to take a potato chip and eat it. So the game of Trista is kind of the same we just had here on the channel. Yeah, Shermans are so good, but people just don't seem to use them right. It's sadder, okay. Okay, 15 minutes setup. Never have seen that before. Ooh, that got me. Okay, no pushes here, no pushes here, guys. We're in for 2-hour games, I guess, then. We're both playing balanced. Nobody here wants to take any risks. So yeah, boy, let's get ready for the ride. And here we go, speed 1. He has his divisions, but yeah, nah. Like I lost against him playing Koruk Seaface, but that was on the map that was pretty good for Koruk. And yeah, I think he only has his couple of divisions he's pretty okay-ish with, but if he has to play something that he isn't used to, I don't think he's that good. Like, this tournament will show us a lot of people out of their comfort zone. This game will not show us the best skill level, most likely, but the best adaptability to new matchups, which I really like. Back 36 here, getting pushed back. But yeah, really defensive setup on both sides. Russian infantry fighting here. Artillery starts to rain down onto the Germans here. Nothing major aside because there's nothing major on the board. Only infantry. No big skirmishes either. Both sitting fair and square on their 12-12, waiting for the time to pass by. North, not much happening. Panzer is well situated there. And yeah, I guess we have to see if Maxwell will be able to push with his artillery. This would be a game where you would hype up every point that gets ticked up in normally 44. Here it is a game of waiting to see if anyone can actually capture points. If not, it's a game of waiting if anyone runs out of infantry. Eventually. Imperial Yak might take a bit of infantry away here from Maxwell already. Good start there. But he might lose some of his infantry in this push down here as well. Another half track falls here. Pioneers getting into close contact with the Tenko Saniki, but they get the defense grenade first. Now it's the time for the Pioneers to come in, throw their grenade before the Tenkos have reload their Molotov. But they reload their Molotov. The 50mm mortars are the ones in the support tab, right? With only direct fire. Yeah, they will get buffed. Spoiler. Like, some will get price buffed, some will get range buffed. Which might make at least the ones that get range buffed a bit useful at some point. But yeah, at the moment they're pretty useless. Pioneers running into the open, into an SG-43. Well, even with indirect fire, they're pretty useless with the range they have at the moment. As the maps are much too open for that. But yeah, T-3485 coming in, and Maxwell slowly but surely winning this fight in town. Though it's Jinpei Yak, the first one who gets the other guy to take down, as he picks this flag up here. Which would allow him to lose this flag here as well. Brings up the Tiger now, but the Tiger has to be careful as there's a lot of T-34s coming up. The Tiger is not really careful here. Going in quite deep. Off map coming in, but it's a bit misplayed, a bit too far forward. More of an aggressive than a defensive off map here. I have no anti-tank gun up here. Jinpei Yak is able to push forward. Bringing up a bomber as well against the T-34, okay. Don't know if that's a worthy target. If he kills it, it might be though. Just gets the fallback. Off map starts hitting. The Tiger gets a bit too close for my comfort. Luckily for Jinpei Yak, there's no anti-tank infantry around, but otherwise the Tiger would be toast now. The Tiger, wait, is that, no. Yeah, it's backwards running into the enemy front line. Ooh, and big snipe on the, or big mistake there by Jinpei Yak to let the off-map half-track get into range of the T-34 there. Or the Galia? No, I think, no, it was the T-34. And yeah, Tiger showing the wrong side, gets crew panicked by T-34-85. I think Maxwell is in a good position to push in the south. Hope nothing big is happening. Jinpei Yak lost one of his Panzer Grenadiers over here. Should win the fight around here though. But yeah, now it's Maxwell and 13-11. Yeah, I don't know why they gave them not indirect, like, yeah, indirect fire they should still have, but yeah. Don't overall get the reasoning behind Fusion doing what they did with the smart mortars. Overall ranges are a bit all over, like, ranges are realistic, but combat isn't realistic. Because of that, ranges are all fucked up. With spotting for recon and yeah, infantry weapon ranges at some point. That's why 60-meter smoke was also super shitty. When infantry always engages over 400 meter in this game. Because there are no small, like, if all of these would be cover and stuff, the infantry fights would be much more CQC. Well, not CQC, but like 150 to 200 meter range engagements instead of 300, 400, 600. Oh yeah, Maxwell really pushed through the south now. Tiger being the only anchor here for Jin Picklejack. Brings in 2 more heavy tanks, but he needs infantry. Maxwell gets an AA piece here. He should start to get his air superiority or enough artillery to break the rest of Jin Picklejack's units, I think, here. We should push forward with the sub-heavies PPSHs. Trying to get to the Panthers. The Tiger still, yeah, if he gets in here, he has 120 meter range, so he would be just out of range, okay. Or would he? Does the center of the house count? Or does the furthest part of the house count? I actually don't know in Division 2. Would it be from here? Or would it be from the center? It would be from the center of the house, right? So now it would be in range again. Yeah, I didn't say they're like. I don't think they're like. I think it's good that they are like they are, but there's some like other mechanics that make engagement range just a bit weird. You know, like some units becoming much worse than they should be because of the engagement ranges. Like the mortars, for example. Because they're due to like there are no holes you can put them in like in real life or something. But I mean, because everything is flat terrain. And there's no side, not many that many side blockers. But yeah, we have Maxwell here now, destroying the south. Jin Picklejack's last infantry units here get mopped up by T-34s. Now he has only the big boys back here. How does he have the money for that? Where were those 7 Panzer Grenadiers previously? 8. That's 3 minutes of income right there? I think that's 3 minutes of income. B income, 2 minutes of income, but still. Could have needed them a bit earlier. No, still 3 minutes of income, even in B phase. More airplay coming in. Yeah, Yak lost the. Yeah. Would have needed more infantry around here, losing the Tiger now as well. Now pushing forward to outsport. We lost a lot of stuff in the north as well. Max will use those units quite effectively. Well, T-34 is popping up. First Panzer already built bed out. Now it's only the Tiger still standing. And that should go down at some point as well. Half tracks getting shot. Panzer Grenadier is still inside. Yeah, 3 T-34-85s, and it's just 3 and 2 more T-34-76s should be able to deal with just one Tiger, and yeah, there it goes. And only a miracle, I think, can save. And Gujin pickled Yak now. That miracle being Maxwell playing super poorly and super passive now. I'm giving Jin Pickled Yak 20 more minutes to set up his defense line. Maxwell. It's time to push, mate. We have enough firepower to obliterate everything Jin Pickled Yak has here. S2 coming up in the north. T-34 should move forward somewhere as well. The whole north is actually up for the taking as well. 120mm mortar getting supplied. More T-34s coming up. I will try to Gensei. Wait, Gensei, why are you here already? Don't you have to play a game? Another Jin Pickled Yak plays solidly with his airplay, always bringing them in. But yeah. Oof, okay. More mortar fire raining down on Jin Pickled Yak's unit now. Yeah, there's not that much here. 2 more Panthers coming up. Jin Pickled Yak always waiting 1 minute before buying, and only buying stuff all 2 minutes, it seems like. But if Maxwell allows him here to bump him into oblivion over time, Jin Pickled Yak actually might have a point to come back to it, but at the moment it's still Maxwell on the driving seat for sure. In the driving seat, not on. Could do much more in the north as well though. Snipers holding fire, for example, is a mistake, I think. Just take out the Pack 40. Yeah, he's playing more like a like you would play in Normandy 44, where 50-50 is 52% map that he would have for sure now with what he got. As his front line is pushing far into Jin Pickled's territory. Would give him the +1 takedown and he could just play down from here, but where he is at the moment doesn't help Maxwell to win the game. He needs to get at least 1 more point, and I would rather say get 3 more points made. And don't give Jin Pickled Yak a chance to come back here. But at the moment it might actually look like he does give Jin Pickled Yak a chance to get back into this game. At least sets up a bit of an artillery park here. But yeah, with all the bombers and stuff coming in for Jin Pickled Yak, this game might turn after all. Will take forever then though, so I hope some of them can break. Now Maxwell tries to push forward, but Now it's too late actually, I think, here. Well, he still has the T-34s, but there are 2 Panthers now. There's a lot of infantry coming in. And Jin Picklejack really good in using his bombers whenever they reload it. But he has to be careful. If the off-map does it right, then Maxwell could really follow that up. But he still would have to do that. This off-map could be nasty. This off-map could be real nasty. Panther now aggressively pushing, I don't like that move. That might be a big mistake with all the T-34-85s around. Oh no, another off-map driving into its demise. Off-map starting around here. Guess rid of one T-34-85. Another one. Artillery of Maxwell continuing firing. Might depend to get the kills after all. Off map for Maxwell hitting all the infantry but that while. When Panther turning around, that's not a good move. Panther shouldn't do that. Might actually get killed by the OB-26, 25 here. Another Panther gets the kill on the T-34-85. Do they actually do it? Another off-map firing over here. Trying to pin both Panthers down. The infantry he nearly already got. But yeah, there's just a bit too much now for Jin Picklejack. For Maxwell to just move this infantry into it. And he doesn't move all his infantry. If he would move all his infantry, I still think he could get it. But he doesn't, so... More T-34-85 fire onto the Panthers. Does he finally get them? Not so far. Jin Picklejack holding on at this point still as well. So we're still at a 12 cloud. T-34-85 getting the incendiary. Really good off-map use by Maxwell. Really poor follow-up, but always good off-map use. And overall artillery use of them was pretty fine. Tank-to-tank combat could be better, but is enough. Just the only thing Maxwell needed to do was winning 5 minutes ago by just taking all the territory here and not giving Jin Picklejack the ability to push in with infantry again and again. SK's coming in. Okay, our artillery piece is going into the middle of the map. Jin Picklejack, can you tell me why you did do that? Panther going down to the T-34-85. Like, yeah, a couple of these choices you did were a bit weird, but this is weird for sure. Like 2 more Panthers, and the south would be actually holdable. This Panther and 2 more Panthers and all the infantry are coming in, but if this would be 2 more Panthers instead of 2 SK-18s, 3 SK-18s, it could actually push him back here, I think. With your commentary, I guess you spoiled us a bit about how the game ends, but yeah, but this is questionable. Infantry coming in half-tracks. Bit too little split up. That's one of the reasons why Maxwell off-map hits that hard. But yeah, oof. Another round of artillery taking out all SK-18s. Or was it even off? Was it the SU? What was firing there? Either an artillery piece or an heavy HE weapon. But yeah, with only one Tiger here, it'll be pretty hard. With you just being pushed back as well. And all the infantry just being too clumped up. As 120mm mortars pin them down over time. More pioneers coming up in the south. Maxwell finally getting to a 14-10. Finally getting a tick here. And now pushing forward with all his tank power. And one Tiger is not enough. Yeah, there goes the Tiger. Good airplay still of Jin Picklejack. Always bringing them in. There's not enough of AA on Maxwell's side to hold it really against it. But yeah, that doesn't win you the game, that only prolongs it. If you don't bring anything good in the on the ground. Tanks now dealing with the half-tracks down here from over there. And yeah, I think we're in the last seconds of Jim Pickle's front line here. Now finally 2 Tigers come, but they should have been coming in together with all the infantry. And this, he might have been able to push and counterattack, but now, yeah, Maxwell just has much too much. And should get the victory here. That he made it harder for himself than needed. Yeah, 3 Tigers coming up, should be able to deal with the T-3045. Something for the KD here, yep. Might be able to deal with all the T-3045s out here as well, but there's just too little infantry to get back into this town. Maxwell is still really cautious about pushing. Maxwell on the 15-9 here. Yeah, your Tiger. The Tiger here was hard to look at. Like, never put a Tiger directly into a town fight. You can have it cutting down the road or something, but never put it directly into a town fight. If Maxwell would have had anti-tank weapon on his infantry, he would have killed it much earlier. You were actually lucky to have the Tiger in the early game as long as you had it. Maxwell now keeping on, trying to get to a 15-9, still unable to do it. And John Picklejack trying to set up a new counterattack, but just not having the infantry for it anymore. Really running out of stuff. And the Panther alone cannot win the south either. As by now Maxwell also has a good artillery park, has a good anti-tank park. And the AA should become impenetrable now as well. As everyone is flawed, this game is not much harder to pick up and play than other real-time strategy games actually. Sure, the genre is always a bit demanding, but everyone has to fight with those limitations. Even the best are not as not as great as and flawless as players in other real-time strategy games, because you cannot be flawless in Steel Division 2. But there are really a lot of small mistakes you can get rid of quite fast, I think. And yeah, Fruitlord is the perfect guy to go to, or Gonzo and stuff, and so on. They're all up to help, so if you want to get better in 1v1, and you playing in tournaments, I guess you want to be better in 1v1s, just ask those guys about stuff. And just play games with them. Against them and 2v2s with them, or team games with them. And just talk and ask and watch replays. Try to do what they do. Think about what you're doing. Think about what your units want to achieve. I mean, I'm not the best in Civilization 2, so all my advices have to be taken with a grain of salt in Civilization 2 for sure, as I don't fully understand this game either. As I by now also gave up a bit on trying to understand it fully. I like the theatric layout of it on this map, for example. The red slowly pushing away the blue looks amazing. How everything in it works out, don't ask me. Ask Frip Lord. Yeah, but it's not about playing, but playing and thinking about what you're doing in your game. And yeah, Maxwell finally got it figured out that he could push 30 minutes later than he should have. And we end this game here, with Maxwell taking a Valorant victory over Jin Pickled Yak that had some bright moments, especially in his airplay, but just didn't got the mechanics down on the earth in the town fight against Maxwell's well-placed artillery and overall solid tank pushes. I don't know what games are up. I thought about following Gensei again. Solo. Someone wished for a solo in Pixies game, but that's still round 1. I think I would rather go into a round 2 game. If we have any. Oh, that's the bracket? Okay, no, then we can jump into Pixie vs Tunica. See how this game looks if with the same divisions when 2 of the good players play it. So yeah, Jim Pickled Yak, I think you should. Now I think from Pixie you can watch and learn how to play with Panther. Pretty confident that we will see a good play from Pixie here. One of our semi-finalists in the first round of the yeah, I micro much too much in this game as well. Like units I want to micro instead of units I should control. I sometimes just do micro for the micro's sake instead of the game's sake. And then I'm pissed because while I micro one of my units to get 1 kill, I lose 10 of my units because I didn't do anything with them. Me, not even a Korean could micro everything here. Not even a StarCraft Trophy could micro all this stuff. Not even a StarCraft Trophy in StarCraft macros all this stuff. That's never the point in an RTS. But the balance in this game is much more into macro than it is in other RTS for sure. And especially compared to its predecessor, it's much more about macro than about micro. Macro players really important here. Getting everything into the right position, letting them do their job. And getting the right units at the right time. And then letting them do the job. Only thing I still don't understand, because I feel like I don't micro it enough, is infantry town fights. But maybe just not supposed to do infantry town fights. I don't know. Like, if you don't have the infantry for it, just don't do it. Just give the town to the one who earns it and use off map to do the push. But that feels like I don't know. Maybe it's a flaw in the game, maybe I just don't understand the game at all. Like, really, infantry fights in Civilization 2 feel so weird. Towns, because you can't, like, in Civilization 1944, town fights were all about the micro. Civilization 2, it's a lot about just a numbers game. Well, you still have to deploy them well. You still have, but you cannot just, like, you still have to deploy them. You cannot do it without macro. Deploying them at the right position is still important, but what happens after you deploy them is different than to other games. You don't have to click them forward and back and forward and back and forward and back like in other games of the same genre. So yeah, we see a big push of Steven Seagal in the middle. Soloing Pixie having a Tiger in the north, already crew killed. Really bad news for him there. And I think Steven Seagal is the one going into the aggressive and good position here. Taking the flag around in the middle. Gun jammed on this, as I've said. Yeah, Pixie is in a lot of trouble here. Because he really misses stuff to deal with all the infantry coming out of Soloing Pixie, and Soloing Pixie just did enough to deal with all the armor. Turret stack up here, crew killed here, gun jammed here. Doesn't kill the vehicles, but he doesn't need to, because they're useless anyways. So, losing the flag up here still brings it to 12-12. What's the other flag he lost? Oh, okay, those three flags now. Against those two flags captured by Seagal so far. Puck getting rid of the half drag. Oh no, as you have said, getting rid of the half drag. Yeah, Seagal got a bit too over ambitious, I guess, here. Not having an infantry here is a big mistake. Snap Perry doing their job. But yeah, Pixie having the upper hand again now, reinforced at the rightful time, and Seagal pushing a bit too over eager with its units in the middle. There's a Frog and Tiger coming up. And with the game going on for the longer run, those damaged units might actually be recovered at some point. Another turret stack over here, but this should get killed by anti-tank guns at some point. Yeah, it goes down now. I think Steven Seagal might be able to push here if he wants to. I think he should want to. Brings in more T-34 into the middle. Bit too focused onto the middle side, I think. Steven Seagal, as he really is ahead on the flank down the south compared to Pixie. But Pixie, by taking the fight in the middle, takes away the focus of Seagal from the south to the center. Starting the grind there, while he's already ahead, already ticking. And fine with not having to reinforce the south. Now bringing in a off map into the middle. Okay. Oh, I think he wants to move it through here somehow. Pixie starting to getting rid of OBs. can't play this game without hotkeys. We can't play any RTS without hotkeys if you want to play somewhat decent. Keyboard and mouse are just too important. This ain't the point and click adventure. Yeah, so Pixie keeping up the push in the north, being totally fine with Seagull having invested super much in the south without using it. Or not that much, but still more. Pixie really using all his stuff cost effectively and having a big push coming up in the north. Has to be careful about this 3485. And those tanks in the middle could actually do also stuff, but they need a bit of infantry. Seagull bringing it up. No, it's a bit too aggressive from the setup. And I guess I would send one into the forest at least. Captures the flag finally over here. Where we saw it 1311 for Pixie. Slowly and surely taking down. Tiger set up on the hill. But yeah, Pixie really wants to play to his advantage in the north, where his tanks can engage on long ranges and he can keep them out of town fights by really being fine with the minimum in the south on units, unit numbers, really investing heavily into armor, and also bringing up the Black 43 37mm. Has to be careful with his infantry over here, as there's just too much HE with all the tanks now. With a good off map, he still could catch Steven Seagull out of position if he would put an off map here, or would have had put it there like a couple of seconds ago. Might be able to run it. Oh! Panzer IV gets around the corner, instantly gets killed. Next Panzer IV in a bad spot here. Pixie should get it back. Does not though. Two group panics. No, one group panics from bounce, but yeah, this Panzer IV is in for a bad time. Pixie not microing fast enough. Now comes the off map, but now both of his tanks in the middle are dead. They were a bit out of position, which should allow Steven Seagull to push in the middle, as it's still 30 seconds till the off map arrives. Until then he should be out of there, at least with some of the units. Panzer IV holds out longer than expected. Tankos should win against Satsupin every day. Every time of the day. Getting rid of Panzer Grenadiers as well, as they popped out of the building on the right side, on the wrong side. But the Pak 36 gets rid of the half track with the Tankos still inside. That's good, as that saved Pixie from losing this spot over here, and he still pushes in the north. Gets back over here, gets the T-3485 as well. I missed that. Two more T-34s over here. But the Tigers and the Panzer IVs should still be able to push there. But Panzer IV gets down. Stalled it long enough though for the off map to arrive, which gives Pixie time enough to reinforce the middle. Enough time. Yeah. So it's still Pixie up, but with the forces Seagull has in the middle, he could turn it every moment. So this game is really close. Both sides did a couple of mistakes, but overall playing a really good game here. E34 76 coming up as well here. Firing onto the Tiger. That's a bad matchup here. Steven Seagull hasn't found an answer for the north just yet. Tries it with artillery now as well, but... Oh, tries to get rid of the flak. If he gets rid of the flak, he could use some planes here. Damn, Gensei, why do you still don't have them? Okay, I have to double check that later. Thought I gave you the VIP badge. If you don't have it by tomorrow, remember me again, please. Another off-map of Solo Wing Pixie, holding off Seagull. Really good off-map usage here. We'll use this flag though. This brings it to a 13-11. And not having any unit in here might be a mistake, as this flop might get in here. Panzer 4 now again coming in, trying to deal with T-34, I guess. Pak 36 shouldn't engage on this distance. Should be an efficient shot. You barely ever want the Pak 36 just open fire. Only against divisions that don't have much tanks, or just super light tanks and a lot of half tracks. Usually you always want them on efficient shot or on heat rounds. So finally Steven Seagal brings it back to a 12-12, and now finally he brings in the planes. Interesting that he brings them in the middle where they have to fly the whole long way, after already nearly killing the flag. Would have thought he would go for the Tiger in the north. Still trying to kill it, but the flag moved away, and 2 more flags coming up. So I'm basically trying to use the ME410 to get the kill on the IL-2. If there's nothing coming up, he should be able to. And the off-map gets a kill on a T-34 here. Tiger gets forced back. The IL-2 not changing targets, so the ME should get the kill on the other IL-2. And might get the kill on these IL-2 as well. That would be 2 big losses for Steven Seagal here. Does he get the kill over here? Nope, doesn't get the kill on Tiger. Yeah, the ME410 should be able to get the kill. Does turn away. Oh, yeah, he micros it to get around. Does it perfectly. It's exactly behind the L2. Otherwise it would have attacked for just a short while, and it would have made a huge turn. This way he got a much better turn out of it, directly behind the L2. Well played there by Pixie. Well microed airplay. And yeah, now he is the one with the Tigers, and there's little to deal with them. Well, in the middle it's still fine against the 1 Tiger, but the north. And now after he has 2 Tigers again after getting the bailed out 1 back into action. Steven Seagal now bringing in the fighter, but loses it to the heck gunner of the ME410. The back gunner getting the kill there. Also, oh wow, this is a real MVP here. Pinning down the mortar as well, killing 2 guys on it. Shooting down 3 planes, getting good strafe. Pak 40 in position, getting rid of a T-34-85. Rest going into the town. And finally Steven Seagal realizes, wait a moment. He invested so much into heavy tanks in the north, maybe he doesn't have too much in the south. So this might be a bit too late, because by now, yeah, Solo Wing Pixie has the opportunity to reinforce the south, has the points to invest there, as he doesn't have to feel the pressure anymore in the north. So yeah, this game is slowly but surely, or by now maybe a bit faster, falling into Pixie's hands here. And he has a lot more units on the field. Just go by blue bars. Yeah, you want to do 1-2 punches in Steel Division. Get your opponent occupied in the middle, and then push in the south. Pixie did it the other way around, occupied him in the middle to not have him push in the south, but usually you want to have like Pixie was really good in occupying Steven Seagal on the other side of the map, so that Steven Seagal had no moment to ever really invest a lot of effort into the south. It was the position he could have broken easily. Like, what we see here could have happened 10 minutes ago. It's the same units. With good reinforcement, he could have been here super fast. Like, with not many reinforcements, but just a few. But Pixie really occupied him well in the middle and kept him from ever investing time into the south in the fear of losing the middle and the north completely. And now his whole north is falling apart by now, because that's where Pixie had more resources from the get-go. Yeah, Pixie got Seagal for sure to the ground. He wanted him to be, got him into the open, where the 5th Panzer is just at a big advantage. But yeah, I must say, overall, I think that two divisions are fairly balanced against each other on this map, for sure. Good pick there, metal face. Really well picked. Yeah, now Pixie is in a bit of trouble in the south, but he has just so many units in the north, and there's just nothing left for Steven Seagal anymore here. So this game might take a bit longer, but I don't see a way Steven Seagal can turn it around. So Pixie should take a couple of those units that are pushing there. Yeah, now he starts moving over here, but the Guardians of Seagal should arrive in time to save this flag at least. Pixie should start swinging now around, instead of focusing on pressing forward. Trying to bring the Tigers around. Already brought one here, but the other one should come around as well. Tries to get for the land spawn up here. But he should really just go there with 2 units instead of all the infantry. As overall on the map he has a big numbers advantage, but in the south he's still in a disadvantage number wise. So he could use everything from there down on the south. Tiger coming up. Thanks for the cheer, Jim Jack. I think that's the first cheer on the channel. Or the second, no, it's the second one I think. Human at some point already cheered, but good to have you here, Matt. And yeah, I think you can learn a lot from this game and from the way Pixie played here. You should, if you really want to get better with 5th Panzer, for example, just ask him for the replay and analyze it, and then try to play a game or 2 with 5th Panzer and just take what you learned and try to use it. Sure, it will not be as good as Pixie from the get-go, but you can get a lot better real fast in this game. At some point you will hit a brick wall where it will be hard to get better, but if you really want to get better, it's not that hard actually to get better. Well, we all were noobs at one point. I would still call myself a Steel Division 2 noob. I think I never was a full noob in Steel Division 1944 just because I played so much StarCraft, which helped me a lot. Oh my god. What an amazing off map. Just spinning absolutely everything there. This 105mm off map just did wonders there. He arrives a bit too late though. If this Panzer Grenadier would have arrived like 5 seconds earlier, he would have surrendered everything here. Now they're coming back, so not perfectly timed, but perfectly placed for sure. But yeah, it's Steven Seagal's death fight here. He really tries to cling into it, but yeah, overall the Steel Division 2 community has a lot of trolls, but toxicity actually is kind of okay, I guess, yeah. The only problem with Steel Division community is that it's so split. Like in parts that want to be competitive, parts that want to be super realistic, parts that want to be like, yeah, whatever. There's not a majority for anything. There's always somewhat like, it's always split about everything, which makes it hard for Eugen that are already having a hard job with this game and the small team they have in the first place, which makes developing this game and progressing a bit annoying and a bit frustrating for everyone on every side. Well, all off-topic channels always can be, yeah. I mean, we still have Law and stuff, but even Law is toxic on a way in a way that is not like super bad, but just like toxic in a way that you can ignore. Like nobody here is really like aggressive against other people and stuff. Like they don't have bitch fights really going on, which I really enjoy. Good to have you, Maxwell. Good game. Won, by the way, against Jin Pickled Yak. Could have pushed the button. Like, you should watch the replay and see that you could have pushed much earlier. You really did everything perfectly at the beginning, or not perfectly, but really good. And then you just didn't push the advantage, and you just gave him 30 more minutes to maybe come back. You could have ended the game in minute 10, and you ended it in minute 40. But overall, really good game. Well, in this game, Pixie could have finished it a bit earlier, but Seagal gave him a really good fight in the south now. But yeah, now finally, Pixie's overall number advantage got brought to the south. Off map did its job, and Pixie just picks them apart now. You, Division 2 is always a bit of a game about adding up everything you killed and calculating how much he could have left, because you don't see that much in Division 2 compared to Division on 44, like unit-wise on the board of the enemy, but you see everything you killed. So you have to assess how much resources could he still have left. And from what you killed in the game, you could have totally figured out that he didn't have anything left and pushed at that point. I think that's one of the most important skills to learn as a beginner, to see how much you killed, how much you lost, and adding it up like over the top and figuring out, am I in a point advantage, am I in a point disadvantage? Do I have to be defensive and try to get the prospective kills, or am I so far ahead that I just can push and get territory? And yeah, at this point, Pixie for sure killed a lot more here, so he can push and get territory. I don't know all the costs of units, like, but I know what roundabout an infantry tank, a medium tank costs, tiger costs, or panther costs. I don't know all the costs either, but if you kill like 4 of them, you know, okay, you just lost 3 minutes of income there. Let's push. And yeah, that's one of the most important skills, and I think one that is even more important than in Normandy 44 in Division 2. So in 44 it was yeah, but yeah, it's really important skill here. Let's talk about this game, not always compare it. So I'm really looking forward to casting Division Normandy 44 again, with League for that coming up as well. Tiger getting killed there, but the ME410 coming in, get another kill on another IL-2, as all the AA Seagull had got killed, or not fully killed, but nearly killed. And the fighters just don't do the job against 410s when they're all alone. You always need 2 fighters for 1 410. Well, he got it falling back now, so now he should be able to kill it. As if he gets behind it. He doesn't really get it behind it though. And the AA should keep him off and actually kill him. Yep. There goes the next unit of Steven Seagal, and we are in the last seconds of this game right now. Really valiant play out of Steven Seagal, but overall, Pixie dictated the game from the get-go. And even though he ran into some issues in the north, those didn't kill him. And yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger or something like that, I guess you could say there. And yeah, at least it didn't make him much weaker. And then he got a push in the north. Wait, you play against Lolly, Gensei? Is Lolly replacing whoever you would have played? Well, anyways, guys, I'm off for a bit. We'll be back in like 3-4 minutes. We'll leave you with a net break, so we get a bit more income for Division League. Okay guys, we return here, but there's no game up at the moment. So I will go over the bracket view. We have Guns already in the semifinal, as expected. And Lolly versus Genze. Didn't knew Lolly was playing. But yeah, Tukaraski versus Thomas. I think we will go for Lolly versus... Or Maxwell versus Pixie, what do you guys want to see? Let me know. Pixie versus Maxwell or Genze versus Lolly? Lolly Genze, okay. Game's not somewhat going. I guess I will ask them. Why does Lolly have no access to this channel? Okay. What did... Okay. Yeah, bully it. Let's see if the game is up yet, yeah. Because I don't see it running. Altitude Super Stunner. That's none of them. Okay, they're setting up. So we'll be in there in a minute. That gives me time to set my alarm up, as I have 2 baguettes in the oven. Timer. Okay, No, that's a 10-second timer. Oh, I had my stopwatch running for 16 hours. 16,000, 1,600 hours. When did I start my stopwatch? 1,600 hours ago. Okay. Good to know. That ran in the back all the time. So yeah, Lolly vs Genze. There you go. Clicking on spectate. And jumping right back in there. So third guard's mechanized with a lot of T-34s versus 25th Panzer Grenadier. And not T-34s, a lot of Shermans, a lot of MCHAs coming up there for us. And we have to wait for a bit till we start here. Yeah, so I guess Tukaraski is the favorite in here, but I don't know Thomas, so you guys have to help me out there. I know Tukaraski, I know he's a solid player. Don't know Thomas, so that's why I give the favorite to Tukaraski there. But yeah, it's Lolly versus Genze. Guess Lolly is the favorite here. And it's a division that should fit him at least somewhat. His third mechanized is a pretty spammable division. I played with Maverick as well. No, I played him with Vanguard, I think. But you can play him with Maverick. And 25th Panzer Grenadier, I think, doesn't have super many tools to deal with all their MCHAs. They have Pak 40s, sure. Don't know, and Stux, I think. Pak 40s and Stux, but you get a good MCHA park out there that can really do stuff. Lolly going already for the off map into the middle. Again, this first unit is the Pioneer for the south. Already, I think, showing a bit where both players think about to do their aggression. Again, they're focusing on the south. The territory I also mostly focus on this map. Often enough, too much. Lolly bringing in some Partisanis there. Also having quite a bit there. I hope so. I hope it will be good. I always deploy push to non-push position. So I'd see what I have left. Resource-wise, when I come to the positions I just want to play defensive at. And Lolly played positions in the middle, a couple on the top, a couple in the south. I guess Lolly is a bit all over the place, but it's late in Japan. So yeah. I wonder if Lolly would... If Lolly wins this, I will for sure play a bit of Big in Japan as the title melody. If he gets to the final. It's much harder to do zoom-ins in this game compared to... because it's all over the place, it's all over the whole front. In StarCraft, I always like the zoom-ins at the beginning of the game, because you only have one base in StarCraft at the beginning of the game for each player, and not like a whole front line. Because it's the player in red, representing no team at all. playing for the meme lords out there and all the weeaboos. It's Otnifa Frederica van Edelstad. And in blue, representing everything Swiss, it's Gensei. Always like this moment, but I haven't really found a way to do it in Steel Division 2. Lolly going all in? Don't think so. He's rushing, sure, but that's Lolly. That's not really an all in yet. Why are those Pioneer Furers not in transport, Gensei? You want to tell us something? That's a misclick, I guess. Or they jump onto the motorbikes and drive away in a second. Yeah, Lolly playing the same way he plays all divisions. Super aggressive. He always plays like 80% of the time at the moment plays Vanguard. In the last games I saw him playing, really interesting. I think it's a fitting game income for him, as he really in B phase always goes for the all out assault, and he really needs this income because he's kind of reckless in his pushes. Like, they're not bad, but they are like, he takes casualties in them, like, always. So he really needs those extra points to get the pressure onto the front line that he has over Vanguard. That's, yeah. We'll see how it works out this time. Gensei getting into a bit more defensive setup, I think. Stuck with 2 stars. Interesting. But he has to split up in the middle. If he's too clumped up in the middle, Lolly will overrun him there. 100%. With the off-map already deployed. He has 2 Pak 38s in the south as well. Guess he wants to deploy one here. Not sure about the other one. Maybe up here. And yeah, please Gensei, bring your Pioneer Furers back into transport. Don't start the game. What does he have here? Camaraderies, flamethrowers, PTRs. Yeah, classic deployment. What do we have? Shameful deck display? Okay. Oh! He doesn't have transport for his leaders, it seems. Oh. Oh. I guess that's what he wants to tell us there. So he just lets them walk into combat. Oof. Oof. Oof, guys. Well, at least they don't die that fast then. Oknomashiki and Partisanis on the other side will be much faster at the front line. Even the Partisanis in their chips. It's just 5. That's a weird moment. Never had that happen before. And here we go. So yeah, let's stop. Lolly not deploying too aggressively, sure. Goes really directly to the front line. Gensei playing up okayish, I guess. So the off-map might not be super effective, but we have to see. Really comes. I think this fight will be won in the middle. So, yeah, I think this should be fine. But whoever can afford to reinforce the south because he wins the middle will win the game, I think. And I pause here because I got to get my baguettes. Okay, guys. We continue. I saved the baguettes. And I somehow have to position them so I can still use the keyboard. Okay, here we go. And yeah, so first off map called in already. Ooh, this is a good placement. Why is this thing so fast? KO actually tries 105 as well. Okay, that's the shameful walk of the Pioneers leaders down here. Uh-oh. PTR's doing PTR's stuff. Where's the second one actually? He had one in the middle as well, didn't he? It actually drove up north then, I guess. Yeah, this PTR's already saves him spot over here. Oh no, it's here. Yeah, okay. It's bigger on 2-3-3, coming a bit too close to for comfort. Transmission damaged already. And there comes the off map. Yeah, this game isn't going well for Gensei at all. Off map getting rid of everything. Ogno's pushing forward for Lolly. They can afford off map from the get-go on Steel Division 2 really makes them even more powerful than in Normandy 44, where off map in the first minute was a super big investment and was more for mid-game pushers. So yeah, it's Lolly in a 14-10 position, but nothing is lost for Gensei just yet. Has to be careful though, in the south. Panzer Grenadier, a bit, yeah, it should be here, so they can range on a bit longer distance, but oh no, Flammenwerfer, watch out! Loses one Flammenwerfer, on the way to lose another. Everything runs, but the Pak 38 will run too slowly for Gensei there. But at least he has to fall back, Pak 38 back here. Another off map coming in for Lolly, putting down everything down here for Gensei. But for now, he holds, and he brings in a lot of stuff in the middle to reinforce. But PTRs are really good against 25th Panzer because all the autocannons are what you want to win with. And PTRs deal super well with autocannons and other armored cars. Well pushed in the south by Lolly. When he gets rid of all the infantry here, he will be in the spot to push just completely through. Gensei would have, yeah, he would have had to get it the big pullback. Gets it at least out of sight of the Sherman for now. Might get it in range of the Pak 38. Ooh, just slightly out of sight. And Lolly realizes it's early enough to not drive there. Gets it back. Flammenwerfer of Gensei over here in big trouble as well. Let's see if this took. Oh no. Shooter knocked out. Gensei microing it back. But he also has to micro back his SCKF sets. One goes down. Yeah, it's not. Other second one gets gun jammed as well. It's not going super well for Gensei for sure. This round is 3rd Mechanized versus 25th Panzer Grenadier Division. So yeah, 2 Stokes for Gensei on the hill. One coming up. That's 3 Amchas. That's too close, I think. Yep. Too close of an engagement range for Stokes there against Amchas. Especially 2-star ones. And yeah, Lolly just steamrolling Gensei here, I think. It's just 3 Shermans. It's just 3 Shermans. But yeah, if you lose, 1 Stoke doesn't deal with 3 Shermans either. Down to that one. Oh, sad life here. ME410 doesn't get the kill. And there's no AA. Next Stoke goes down to the off map, I think it was. Yeah, this game is over, guys. Pretty sure this game is over. 410 at least turns around a bit. Good usage of the good airplay there by Gensei so far. Gets the fighter out, but the middle is collapsing rapidly. Pack 38 caught up in the open there. Yeah, now Lolly invested into the second fighter, and now he should win the air war again. One Amchar goes down, second one survives again. And with the 410 going down here, life for Gensei goes from worse to miserable. From bad to worse. And yeah, front line totally collapsing. And yeah, now this Amchar train should be unstoppable. Here we go. Lolly has to stay awake for 1 more hour, guys. As he has to play Gonzo in the next round. We get the rematch, guys. We get the rematch. Well, yeah, he was a bit unlucky there with the 410, and I think the 410 was a good last measure effort there, because he didn't have the time to pull in more tanks. He really had to stop him right there and then. The 410 call wasn't the best, the worst. Actually was good, but yeah, he lost that before. And now Lolly is just ripping him apart here. Even if this still kills all the Shermans, Lolly is in such a good position in the middle now that it doesn't matter. And he even locks out the loader. Just before, yeah. Well, the thing is, you never know where he uses it. Like, even if you expect it, what do you do against it? Off map, if you don't spot it, it's so hard to counter because it comes instantly. Yeah, like if you don't get a, like if it would be like the off map call in Shogun, where you get like a shot in the middle, and then the shots around it, that would be fine. But with off map called in instantly without you getting any notification, or with like a siren, like in for planes, or with so that you know that an off map call has started, or something like this, it would be fine. But with off map being undetectable, you never know where it is. So you even counterplaying against it is the only counterplay you can do is split up, and split up you can't always do, and yeah, so I think off map is really hard to counterplay, even if you know the enemy will have it, because you never know where and when. Yeah, this Gensei brings out a valiant effort, but yeah. I think Gonzo was in the chat, yeah. Well, I guess so for you, but yeah, not everyone is you. Good lord. I, for example, would have expected him to bring it in himself. At least because I think this forest is perfect off-map territory. Yeah, it's Lolly again, Gonzo. Yeah, as I said, spreading out is a fine tactic, but you don't always can spread out, and you don't always want to spread out, because then you lose your single units against massed units of infantry. Like, Lolly isn't wasting his off-map usually. He's Because he plays it a lot, he also got really effective in using it when and where he wants to use it. But yeah, but you could also clean it up with off-map without infantry. Another option there. You can also clean up the middle with infantry. But yeah, Lolly winning the air game here. Like, yeah. So here we go. Gensei surrenders. And yeah, Lolly taking clear victory here. And we get the rematch, guys. We get the rematch. So that's what's upcoming next. We'll take a break here to eat a bit. And yeah, we'll be back with Gonzo vs. Lolly in a second. Leave you with a net break. The only thing so welcome back, guys. I just started to watch Tukoraski and versus Thomas. As no one of the other games was up, and I was just eating this decision myself with zone deployment. We'll go fastly through that. Same matchup, with Tukoraski taking hands onto the third armored, third mechanized, and Thomas playing the 25th Panzer Grenadier division. Not really. The rating was done by Eugen Pavilion, and Eugen sucks at their own game, so they don't have a clue what's good and what's bad. Like, sure, C divisions have, like, C tells you they don't have really heavy tanks and stuff. That's what it mostly tells you. Well, it helps for Breakthrough, because in Breakthrough C divisions have better equipment than A divisions. But it's hardly representative. It's kind of a mechanic that allows Eugen to be fine with not balancing the game, because they can tell, yeah, it's a C division anyways, doesn't need to be perfect. Which is, I think, a fine theory in the end, because we have so many divisions, not every division has to be top tier. As we have much more divisions than in C division, only 44, and we're still growing. So, yeah. Not every division has to be competitive. Soulstrap and MP44 is something we haven't seen in the game before. Just when I saw them I realized that was something missing maybe for Genze there. Rognum Chicky is pushing forward as well, together with Halftrax. So it seems like Tukoraski also is on the way to get the middle. MP44 units doing so far okay, but he has to be careful now, because there's an Emcher and he doesn't have anything to do with it. So he really has to run into the forest. Starts doing that now, as he can deal with everything here, but not when the T-34 is in firing range. Kills the PTRS with the MP44s. So parry is dangerous as well though. He has Molotovs, but the TNT satchel still flies. Kills one. And Partisanis have Molotovs as well. And quite a lot of them. Well, they're engaging over 100 meter range. Seems like it. Like they're a bit into the light forest, and that's why they engage over range. That's why no flames do there. Only up in this throws some down. Next satchel kills the leader and the Panzer Grenadier. So yeah, the south is Tukoraski's here. Stuk just coming up. Bit late there. Pack 38 should be moved. Oh no. Tomasz sending in the Stuk on its own into infantry, getting rendered there because of the flames. And now he doesn't have anything to deal with the two Shermans coming up. Speerwagen 233 using all its HE shots on Partisanis. Not getting the kill. Tukoraski is doing what Lolly did with off-map, with normal mortars now. Pinning everything on the top of this hill now. And on the way to pushing it down the hill in a second. Shooter killed on the Stuk. Thomas needs to micro it, doesn't, and there it falls. 250/8 gets pinned as well. Oh, that's the 250/8? Okay, then I'm always meant the 250/9 for 116. They should get it to 250/9. Yeah, 25th Fancy Grenadier isn't the easiest division to play because they have interesting tools, but they play quite differently than normal divisions, even though the tools don't seem to be too different. I haven't seen many good 25th Fancy Grenadier games so far. Usually see them losing in 1v1. I suck with them as well. I absolutely hate this division. Every time I play with them, I just get utterly destroyed. See you, Jin Pickled Yak. Thanks for coming up with the idea and stuff. And thanks for another 10 bits. Good use of smoke here, I think, with Kureski, as he really wants the Axis to come to him. Gets rid of another, the 250/8. Should lose to the Stuk now though, but gets the tracks broken on it at least. Loader knocked out on this Stuk by the 3-star MCHAS. Now it can fire though. Knocks the drive out on this side. And yeah, gets the Shermans. Both Shermans down in the middle. But Tukaraski has the south. And Tukaraski has a lot of units in the south now. So he might be able to capture all of this in the second and swing around then. And the middle is still going okay for him, I think. As this Stuk doesn't move anywhere. And this Cis-2 should be able to deal with this Stuk. Interesting, this Bevargan 233 winning the fight against the MCHA in the north. Another MCHA got killed over here, I think. Somewhere. Yeah, another MCHA got killed over here by another 233. Yeah, by another 233. Gets rid of the Stuk in the middle, and yeah, I think it's still Tukaraski in the lead here. Two more Stuks coming up for the south. Deal with the MCHA. Tukaraski now coming in with the bomber run against the AA piece. Let's see how this works out. And it's 2-star AA piece, but it's just 20 million. So yeah, the bombs fly. Do they get the kill? Nope, only one man killed there. Tracks broken here. Well placed AT gun by Tukaraski. Gets killed though by 233. This one still had 8 shots left. Sebastian Thomas using his half tracks at least somewhat decently there. Let's see if Tukaraski can stop the next push of the Stuks in the south. Hope these two Stuks finally overwhelm him. Gets gun jammed at least at one. And he has two MCHAs ready. One is falling back at the moment, but it's in safety for now. The Stuks in the middle shouldn't be able to push, but Sebastian Thomas is on the way to get securing the north. Even getting some Stoßtruppen in there. Well placed AT guns by Tugareski overall. Might get the side shot on the Stuk here. Yep, gets the side shot on the Stuk. With an armor explosion. Another Stuk coming in, but yeah, Sebastian was a bit too aggressive with all his Stuks. Not using them. The Stuk life ain't a good life if you are in Sebastian's team, as he uses them a bit too aggressive. Stuks are more of a defensive tool than an offensive one. More like a tank destroyer than a real tank. Pak 38's now opening fire against the MCHAs. And the 233 from behind the line might deal the job. Gets spotted though. It has to do the direct fight against the MCHA here. Ooh, and it's just on a move command. Not on an attack command. No, the best Thomas. No. Okay. So here, sniper opening fire on the packs. Got rid of one already. We are level 53 with the Sherman. And the second one falls to sniper fire as well. Another Stuk did fall himself. Now it's a Stuk. Tukareski should bring this MCHA back. You don't want to have them engaging on full range, or on long range, not full range. But yeah, long range. Let's speed this whole thing up. Oh, Tomasz actually brings Panzer Grenadiers in here. That gets them too close to Saperi, PPS 8. I think the Panzer Grenadiers should lose that. Ooh, it's close actually. They actually win, but. And they actually might get the kill on the Sis. Yeah, gets the kill on the Sis. As well. Doesn't get a flag though. Partisanis should seal the deal. For them. Yeah, gets the kill there. Still kills 2 more mines on the Partisani though. Tukareski back to using his artillery park instead of pushing. I think if he would have invested more into pushing, he could have broken through, but artillery is away as well. Using it for counter-battery purposes, as well as pinning down the best Thomas frontline. 2 Saperi squads coming in direct firefight with Panzer Grenadiers. And at the moment everything loses in normal firefight against Panzer Grenadiers. And Automachiki is running over the open, just get melted. It's actually Sylvester Thomas getting 13-11 here now. Lost another Stuk in the south though. So I think overall Tukareski should be fine because he's just winning the armor duels. But if he runs out of infantry, it might get desperate to him. Might become. And both playing Vanguard, so chances are at some point in the next 10 to 15 minutes, one of them runs out of something. Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward in the middle, nearly killing the commander there. Might get the kill actually. Get the kill. Get pinned down that now though. Pak 40 gets killed by artillery. Sherman Stuk fight again. Gets rid of 1 Stuk. 1 Sherman. South is still like it always has been. Tukareski really could push in the south now, as he got rid of the Stuk. Really missed opportunity here. Has a lot of units there against really little from Sebastian Thomas. He uses smoke. I think that's because he doesn't have any other shells, so he just uses smoke. Interesting choice there. Gross bringing it back to 11-13. Yeah, this 3 vets MG42 is really killing stuff. Everything stepping out into the open gets pretty much shredded there. Tugarski now again firing on the artillery. 25th Panzer Grenadier has a really good artillery pack. But at the moment it's really Tugarski playing the better artillery game. Getting rid of the leader here. Gets pinned now by the MGS again. And the Stuk now being repaired, the one that was back here, moves forward again. Gets transition destroyed on the Amcha, really both trading blow for blow when it comes to tank kills at the moment. And yeah, the 2 MGs really do great. The 3 MGs actually, 4 MGs. All the MGs here positioned for Sebastomas really do a great job in countering everything Tugarski pushes forward with. But Germans still deal with them, as they can't penetrate them. It's really a shame that Tugarski didn't realize he can push in the south. Both sides not having the power to push in the north. Maybe Tugarski would have, but it's pretty close there. So it's really about these engagements in the middle. Often in this map, ends in a massacre in the middle, with both sides forgetting about the rest of the map existing. And we see a familiar face here, an off-map, 125mm. No, 52mm. Again, the Lack bombers coming in. Both dropping the bombs. Both should get out alive. Gets rid of Flak this time. Gets rid of the Stuk as well. Another Stuk coming in. The ME-19 shouldn't be fast enough. Might actually have to be careful. And Tugarski getting the 1311 again. Pins down everything over here. Should maybe go for the surrender there. And the off map comes in. And everything in the middle dies for Sebastomas at the moment. The ME has to get out there. That Zetsu M17 up. I guess he didn't have any infantry in A, and then because he was a bit in the trouble, he just sent in the leader, if I remember right. And since then, nothing has changed up there. Off-map call is coming in. Tugarski pinned nearly everything down but the Stuk. I mean, the Stuk is halfway there. 2 Nebelwerfers coming in, firing. Let's see if they get any kills. Or if they can pin down everything. Gets the kill there. Gets the nearly kill on the Guardia. The other one on the north also gets some kills. I think one of them was friendly fire. So, okay, Nebelwerfer battery there. Next off map coming in. And Tugarski really going for the counter battery with his F-22s. Gets finally the kill on the SK. Or K-38, I don't know. The artillery piece in the north. See a real stalemate game here, you know. Gorosky slowly but surely winning. Map coming in, not hitting much this time. But both MGs nearly pinned down. Allows Gorosky to get the flag in the south. Going to 59. Damn, he still could push so hard in the south. But he pushes everywhere now, as he traded just that bit more efficiently in every combat they had over the whole game. Guess I shouldn't zoom too fast when I'm already speeding up the game. If zoom at all. Naval Warfare battery again against mortar fire from the other side. And now he has a really good defensive setup here, because every infantry getting too close. Jubes gets one flag back, loses one flag in the north. And the north totally collapses for Jubes Thomas now as well. Bomber coming in the middle. Might go down. Doesn't go down. Gorosky gets the next plane kill. I think we have our second final, our last semi-finalist. He will play against Pixie. Let's see. For Lolly versus Gonzo. There we go. Lolly versus Gonzo. Ooh. So we have Lolly with 20th Panzer, one of his divisions he really like. I really liked him with playing with them against against Kurina on a good old river map, guys. But now one of them goes for the balanced stay back and wait for the enemy to run out tactic, luckily. So we will see still an aggressive match even with the river map in front of us. So let's speed the deployment to maximum. Yeah, Lolly hates long games, and he's not good in them. That good in them either. So yeah, he sticks with it. Maverick, 20 minutes of full power, 5 more minutes of solid power, and then 5 minutes of dying. If the game isn't over at 30 minutes, it's over for him, Lolly. Except Gonzo runs out of stuff as well, then Lolly wins with shoe bows. But sadly this time he doesn't have shoe bows, so that's not really an option this time. I'm pretty sure, no? Yeah, there we go. I waited for them before pausing, because I knew they were coming. Okay. So he goes for the long run, hasn't decided where to bomb with this one. And I guess want to bomb this street, or this street with the other one. Goes over the river here, Interesting that he doesn't call it in then over here. I would think a napalm like around here would be really good, so they can secure this flag safely. But yeah, hasn't brought. Oh, he brings in one up there. Okay, two. Okay, actually brings in one up. They would have gone the other way around though, as they're pretty slow, so they just arrive in time usually. Gonzo Gorgo River in the middle. Let's see if Lolly has enough there. Not that much there going there. Only one Ersatz Truppen? Ooh, that might be a big mistake for Lolly there. Panzer 4G coming up 3 times, not a very flank. Gonzo not sending much over here by the PTRs. Lolly should see it. Does he get the bombs off? Oh, Lolly. And then Bomber coming into the middle. Seems like he got it. Or did he? Yeah. Gets 2 killed, 1 out. That's what I wanted to see. Got secure and stare with the Napalm Bomber. Gonzo now bringing in the Yak. Lolly not having any AA kind of bites him in the ass now. But you don't want to lose them all. Losing one of the GOs, totally fine. Losing 2, already annoying. Losing all 4 of them, horrible. Second one goes down. So yeah, this game ain't going that well for Lolly, as Gonzo already secured the middle. On the way to secure this part as well of the map. Lolly's meme over here worked, but he didn't really kill much. Let's us drop him up here. I guess do okay. But yeah, there goes the last GO, and you need them as recon planes as well. You don't just want to have them as one run meme bombers, but actually their reload time is really nice, and you really want them as a tank. Oh god, this Panzer 4G is, yeah, turret stuck already. This is so dead. Does Lolly micro it? No, not at all. Doesn't get the shot off, gets killed by T-34 76. And Gonzo has 2 bridges over the river secured. The third one, he's on the way. River. Oh, he also, oh god. This half track taking a flag on its own. Panther 3 should be able to push it back, or at least get the flag back, but yeah. So it's now up to those 2 Panzer 4Gs. Come back in here. Gets killed off the half track, but Panther 3L still has to deal with the T-34. Now that he's out of APCR shells, that's much harder. The AP shells only have 100. Well, it still can do it, but it's still, like, it's not an instant penetration like it is with the APCRs. And the track down here. Might get in range of the M5L if we move Lolly moves it. Gonzo moves it wrongly. Lolly trying to secure the hinterland up here. Yak 9T and half tracks doing something about it though. Yeah, the firepower of the T-34s of Gonzo in the middle is just too big, I think. Another 2 Panzer IVs coming in for Lolly. And with 2 stars they can also do stuff, but yeah. Still not that easy. Panzer IV goes down. Yeah, this game is falling apart for Lolly. I think Gonzo might get his revenge here. Didn't kill a single T-34 so far, I think. The one with tracks broken, yeah, but... Well, he just doesn't kill anything. Gonzo really good in preserving his troops. Preserving it from every stuff Lolly throws at him. Not losing any. And down goes another Panzer III. Finally gets T-34 over here, but yeah. You don't want to trade 2-star Panther 3s and Panther 4s one by one for 0-star T-34s. That never works out in the long run. That's not what they're meant to do. Oof. Luckily, those Strelicky have a shitty hitbox. Gonzo's securing the north now as well. Finally pushing everything on the bridge out with the half track as there's no anti-tank, and then Stuart. And actually gets over the bridge. And Gonzo on his way to exploitation. Has to be careful as Panzer IVs with 2 stars are still dangerous animals. Panzerschreck gets killed on 2 transports there. But Gonzo now pushing everywhere. Center and left and right. Or up in north and south. Even losing units and transport is Lolly here. Please don't have me lose any further ones. Loses one. No, don't lose any still pioneer. 4G gets a kill on this little tanky over here. Oh my god. Tanko Seniki actually T-34 up North Falls, but Tanko Seniki actually got rid of the Storm Pioneer. Another Stuart arrives. But the forest moving on, but Gonzo just controls the south now. With the 2 river crossings. And getting rid of all the Panzer IVs. IS-2 coming up. But I don't think even the Stalin can save this game anymore for Lolly. Gonzo really putting everything into the right basket when he did put all his eggs into one in the middle. As if Lolly would have been there at the right time, this could have been really bad for Gonzo. But luckily for him, Lolly was focusing on his own pushes and had just really little in the middle. And now we see Gonzo on its way to surgically cleaning up the field. One Axis unit at a time. One fascist at a time. That's what Gonzo's so good in. Unit preservation. Really one of his big strengths. While saying that, he loses his Stuart in an infantry spot, but yeah, still. More T-34s coming up. Another Panzer IV that goes down. Lolly is down to only T-34s and the Stalin. No more Panzers. The IS-2 gets at least rid of one T-34. That's a bit overkill there. PE3 coming in now. Getting the hit off. And I need to stand, guys. Everything tries to kill Stalin now. As it's really the last hope of Lolly and it's not a big one. There goes the T-34. Yeah. It's just Gonzo picking him apart here. Force coming in the south now as well. Getting the kill onto Lolly's T-34s. And it's at 16-8 now. Stalin pushing into the middle. Two Flak 41s actually, okay. Interesting choice there by Lolly. I guess he's pretty much out of anti-tank. And it's nearly saved his Stalin there, but it didn't in the end. And losing the Stalin should seal the deal here. That really should end the game. Another IL-2 run kills another T-34, pushes the other two back. Yeah, we're rushing through this as Gonzo rushes through Lolly to a 15-9. And yeah, Lolly just doesn't have the forces anymore to push this back to a point where it could come back from. And with Maverick that would be hard anyways. As Turina should have more stuff in the long run as well in the tank department when it comes to T-34. They don't have much, but 20th Panzer actually doesn't have that much either. And if we bring them with 2 stars in A, you don't get too much in B and C base. Gonzo really abusing that Lolly doesn't have any AA. With his IL-2 runs, cutting a lot of stuff. Lolly bringing it back to a 10-14. Just 2 more, but those 2, just in this front of the sandwich, it's a bit misleading, because 2 more in this game will be so hard for Lolly. Lolly might get the kill on this gun T-34. No, he doesn't. So he loses it, and then yeah. Lolly is surrendering here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is Gonzo with the well-earned victory and his spot in the final. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Let's have a look at the kill and then I will be back in 5 minutes. 34s. Don't know if the finals will be played today. Have to clear that up with Metal Face. Okay guys, so finals will be played tomorrow. So I think I will end this here and hope to see you guys all tomorrow again. And thank you for watching. Thanks for the bits again to Jim Pickletiak. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, want to support Steel Division tournaments in the future, and if you're interested in joining them, you find it down below in the description, the upcoming Steel Division League. Go for Normandy 44 and Steel Division 2. And yeah, other than that, I will see if we can raid someone. Anyone up? Republic of Play we could raid. Yeah, see you there. Have fun with the Laris. We'll be sending you over there in 10 seconds. Yeah, see you tomorrow with Steel Division again.
Is that from something? I could tell how you wrote it that that's how it's meant to be said. Hey, SD League. Thanks for the raid. Party of 6. Coventry City fan, hello. And Scuba, hello. Okay, so I've been talking with Rebel with cause. I should actually hop into I should get into Discord just in case they want to talk to me. Discord channel 4. And we kind of formed a little bit of a plan. So if you want a quick recap as to what's going on, it's a 14-player multiplayer game. All the empires that you see are players. Currently have Unions map mode on, so these are the current federations that we see. Ragoons here, the Tankir hegemony, actually have these guys as a vassal, the Myria Crown Empire. But everyone else...
New technology discovered.
Everyone else is... Oh, I need to fix that. Everyone else is actually a vassal, or... Jesus, federation. They're actually together. There we go. So there's our chat up and running. Nice. Good. So we are voting now. By the way, please turn off the stream if you are in the game. We've actually just voted on revoking the access. We had Tankir Hegemony as an associate to our federation. We're going to revoke that from them now, which is going to cause a 10-year cooldown before they can attack us, or we could attack them, should that be the case. But from talking in the background, just seems like that was the way it was going to end up. So that's the decision we came to. Let's speed it up now to slow. Nice to see that tick rate's going all right. And color code's got a nice little... Got the mineral icon in his name. Thinks he's all fancy. Right, so... But they got into fights with other cats, sometimes raccoons. Hey, SD League, thanks for the raid again. So that's not good. Yeah, indeed. Sad no raid stand still. Yeah. Remind me, can you just PM me to do that? And I'll see it after the stream. It's YMCA, but a Soviet party. The link in the announcement was busted. What was it? Oh, there's no .tv. Thank you for pointing that out.
New technology discovered.
Uh-oh. Vocalization protocols initiated. Federation Association status defined for future assimilation and integration into Federation. Rebel is so awesome, man. He always has he's always on lore or on narrative. Gotta appreciate that. Like, he knows and understands the game really well, but he also plays up the narrative. That's all you can ask for. What more can you ask for, even, I should say. Okay, so let's formulate kind of a little bit of a plan of what we're going to be doing and discuss what we did last time. Gonna bring my ship back home and take off the components. My fleet, I should say, not my ship. So my fleet is back home already. So in the last stream yesterday, we defeated the Prickety T kind of event fanatics that kind of pop up down here. So we managed to take them out. I've got them now on the planet of Gish. They are radicalized because they're quite unhappy that obviously that we've taken them over and their planet was really mismanaged. So I'm increasing the amount of housing that we can give them, and then they're now considered slaves, so we have to kind of make jobs for them, make different districts and jobs for them to work. Bit of a problem, but we'll sort it out. It's just that devastation and low stability, all these things are causing issues, but I'm hoping that that'll get a little bit better over time. Actually, I might do this, distribute luxury goods. Just hopefully increase the amenities there, and in turn maybe raise stability. Yeah, we raised it by 4%. Not great, but not terrible either. So back home will enable planetary growth, encourage planetary growth. I'm 15 seconds in. We're already celebrating Rebel. We're already celebrating Rebel.
Receiving transmission.
I'm with you. I just didn't expect to start so soon. Well, he's just great, and he's got a great voice. Quenty. Oh, so this is Eaton, who was meant to be ducking out for the weekend and letting Letherington take over, but instead decided to stay on, and Letherington took over someone else. He wants a commercial pact, is it? We don't really have the. I'm afraid I don't have the influence to do that. So I'll roleplay a little bit here. We're not yet sufficiently influential
Incoming transmission.
to carry such a pact. Sufficient. Can't spell sufficiently, apparently. I need to change my guys' names as well. So I'm the Foundation of Alari, right? Yeah. Alright, we're still on slow. Just move it up to normal now. Alright. And then he has sent me something else. What's this? Trade system. The change of systems here from our machine friends over at Ad Pop-Upper. So let's
War has broken out.
the Tankir hegemony declared war on the Renoxious Forge. Yeah, so that's what we kind of expected. So Reguns has declared war now on the Western Federation. This is kind of why we wanted to pop out of our federation, or get rid of him out of our association status. We won't be associated with such aggressiveness. And we were even hoping that maybe if time was permitting, we could then maybe retaliate. But it seems like he's done this war early enough now that by the time it ends, our truce will be up and then we'll be able to fight. So he's playing it well because he's going to basically attack us both separately. If that's the case. So we really need the West to hold out for as long as they can. That does change things a bit.
No. It's gonna be the Panzer guy. You know, the Panzer guy. Yeah. No, not Guderian. Yeah, all right. Okay. January 25th, 1941. Operation Compass, the British counteroffensive versus the Italians in Libya, has been going on for 6 weeks now and has been a major success. But Libya is not the only Italian possession in Africa. This week, far to the southeast, the British also strike. I'm Indy Nidell. This is World War II. Last week, the Luftwaffe began heavily.
At your call. It's hammer time. Strike with for Lordaeron!
Bombing Malta. French and Thai forces clashed in Cambodia, the British made preparations for actions in Africa, and the Chinese communists gained some valuable international PR after being defeated by the nationalists 2 weeks ago. Here's what follows. There is some fighting this week between the Chinese and the invading Japanese forces. In southern Henan province, the Japanese are trying to make Wuhan safe from Chinese forces that threaten it. On the 25th, at the end of the week, 3 Japanese divisions break the first Chinese defensive line heading towards Wuyang. There is also action in Southeast Asia in the Franco-Thai War. On the 24th, Thai bombers raid the French airfield at Angkor. It seems, however, that hostilities in this war are winding down, and after last week's French attacks by both land and sea, Japan is proposing that the belligerents sign an armistice, concerned that the war is starting to go in France's favor. Nothing has been signed yet. Well, that fighting may be winding down, but the war in Africa is heating up. William Platt's offensive against Eritrea begins the 19th, and that day, Kassala and Tessenai, which had been evacuated by the Italians, are taken. Then the 5th Indian Division moves along the south towards Aikota and then hopefully Bishia. The 4th takes the northern route towards Keru. The roads are mined and the bridge over the river Gash blown, but they make good time anyhow, and by the 21st have occupied Aikota. But the 4th reaches Keru Gorge, defended by 5 Italian battalions, and are pinned down, unable to do much of anything. However, the 5th, brilliantly, detaches a motor machine gun group and a light infantry group from Aikota and sends them with all haste to the roads behind the Keru position. They bayonet their way through the pass and cross the Italian rear the 22nd, taking prisoner a force that could, and maybe should, have held the pass for weeks. A full 6 of Italian commander Luigi Frusci's men. By the 25th, they have occupied Siagle Wells and are within 10 kilometers of Agordat. That and Barentu are Frusci's final resistance points, but by the end of the week, the British have cut communications between them. And as for the African action to the northwest, well, last week I went over the battle plan that the British and Australian forces have for attacking Tobruk. That battle begins this week at 5:40 a.m. January 21st and goes pretty much according to plan. Check out last week's episode if you want details. By mid-afternoon, not just Tobruk, but 25,000 prisoners, 208 big guns, and 87 tanks have been captured at a cost of 400 men. The major goal of the attack is to capture the harbor undamaged, and while it isn't entirely undamaged, it is still very much functional. They also take 10,000 tons of water, refrigeration and distillation works, and a power station. Within 48 hours, the harbor has been swept for mines and is now usable as the main African supply base west of Alexandria. Richard O'Connor's forces aren't just sitting around, though. Already by the end of the 22nd, the 4th Armored Brigade has made steam from Tobruk and cut the roads west, south, and southeast from Mekili. And the 7th Armored Brigade is around 35 kilometers from Derna. What the next big goal of this wildly successful North African offensive is, though, is Benghazi. Thing is, back on the 11th, the British government decided that Greece was going to soon be top priority for all men, supplies, planes, or whatever would be necessary to help the Greeks face what they think is an impending German invasion of Greece. Archie Wavell, commander-in-chief of the whole Middle Eastern sector, which includes North Africa, has been told that after the fall of Tobruk, that priority change takes place. He strongly objected to the subsequent proposals to denude the forces in Libya, particularly since the buildup of the Luftwaffe in Sicily boded ill for the future. But they were overridden by the Prime Minister and the Chiefs of Staff, who nevertheless insisted that Benghazi should be taken and developed as a base for both the Navy and the Air Force. So they're going to take away a lot of his strength and his supplies, but he still has to take Benghazi. And to do that, he's leaving the desert for different terrain. I'll talk about the region in some detail next week, but for now, the Australians focus on Derna, and the 7th Armored Division attacks the Italian armor at Mekili. As the week comes to its end, the Italian defenses at Derna are holding off the Australians, and Electric Whiskers, Annibale Bergonzoli, manages to avoid his 20th Corps being surrounded at Mekili the 23rd. And with Italian bomber and fighter support, his forces are holding off the enemy at Derna Airfield. As a side note to this campaign, on the 19th, Benito Mussolini arrives at Obersalzberg as Adolf Hitler's guest. Hitler, as he has already told his commanders, tells Mussolini he will send a force to Tripoli. It is to be commanded by Erwin Rommel. Hitler also figures tangentially in some developments this week in Romania. On the 21st in Bucharest, the Iron Guard spends the day hunting down Jews. They beat thousands of them, and 120 are killed. Many of those hung on hooks in a slaughterhouse with signs on them saying, kosher meat. This is the Bucharest pogrom, and it happens the same time as the Legionnaires' rebellion. Okay, There had been anti-Jewish legislation in Romania, which had grown more and more restrictive since the Jewish Codex last August, which you can look up. We've also seen over the past couple of months tensions seriously growing between Conducător, leader, Ion Antonescu on one side, and Horia Sima and the Iron Guard on the other. This continues to grow. But the thing is, both sides believe in the seizure of Jewish property and assets, but Antonescu, as head of state, wants it done to benefit the government and Romania as a whole, while the legionnaires of the Iron Guard, they were originally called the Legion of the Archangel Michael, hence legionnaires, are basically robbing Jews for their own benefit. Antonescu sees this as detrimental for Romania. So it's more about method. Antonescu wants it to be by legal appropriation rather than by robbery, terror, murder, which is what has been happening to a lot of Jews, even as others have been forced to sell their assets for basically nothing legally. Well, this has been boiling all through January, with Antonescu demanding that the Iron Guard cease its escalating terror tactics. In return, they